Great kickoff start. Some nice music. Good morning. Welcome to the Paper Recycling Conference, India. Thank you for joining us here in the bustling city of Mumbai. I'm Jim Keith, the publisher of the Recycling Today Media Group. Our flagship magazine, Recycling Today, has been serving the global recycling industry since 1963. And we are thrilled to again be here in India to host our second Paper Recycling Conference, India. In fact, we began our Paper Recycling Conference series back in 2000 with our very first event in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. Since that time, we've hosted that event annually in the US, as well as an annual event in Europe since 2004. We've also hosted events in the Middle East and China. Of course, India has a fantastic paper industry, and it's really a market that is poised for significant growth. Some recent facts of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank have pointed to India's economy as one that will grow from 6.5% to 7% this year, 2017 alone. India's demand for finished paper and board is projected to increase from 11.2 million tons to 43.9 million tons from 2011 to 2027, tremendous growth. And paper and board produced by India's growing sector has grown from using about 33% recovered fiber as feedstock to about 55% currently. And that's forecasted to increase to 65%. And more than half of that fiber is imported. It truly is an exciting time to be in the paper business in India. We've worked hard to craft a program here that will provide a wide range of insights into the industry, and we've really got a range of fantastic speakers. For that, I'd like to offer a very special thanks to our editor, Brian Taylor, who's done tremendous work on the program, along with Mr. P.R. Ray. Our friends at Victory Creations have done a tremendous amount, as well as Bill Moore from Moore & Associates. Truly a team effort to pull together a fantastic program. I'd also like to thank Maria Miller, our conference manager. Everybody meets Maria as they come in, grab their badge in the morning, and get going. She's done great work and always does for us, as well as our partner at Waste and Recycling Middle East, who's handled a lot of planning and logistics for us. Very importantly, I'd like to thank all of our speakers, all of them for presenting over the next day and a half. I'd also like to thank all of you, our delegates, for being here and for investing your time and resources to join the conference. Of course, the reality is an event like this would not be possible without our sponsors, and I'd really like to take a moment to thank all of the sponsors in total for the support of the event, but very importantly, I'd like to recognize our diamond sponsor, Mr. Devang, Vora, and welcome him to the podium to offer some welcome comments to everyone.
Namaste, Swagatam. Good morning to you all. On behalf of the people of India and myself, I welcome you all to the first Paper Recycling Conference of 2017. My name is Devang, Vora. In January 2015, I had requested Jim to host the conference in my hometown of Bombay. I'm glad to see that has happened. Friends, your response has been outstanding, and I'm glad to be here to welcome you. On this occasion, I'd like to express my gratitude to all the partners associated with this event. Without your support, this could not have come so far. This is perhaps the biggest gathering in our field, where a promising paper agent has the opportunity to meet the CEO of a massive paper mill, where a young man dreaming to set up a paper mill can listen to the views of the industry experts and veterans in this field of ours. That is why this event has always been a success. The US-based Recycling Media Group launched its first paper recycling conference in June 2000 in Atlanta, Georgia. 2005 saw the first European paper recycling conference. They are still going strong with upcoming events in Chicago, and the next European conference will be held in November 2017 in Warsaw, Poland. Friends, India has always believed that the whole world is one family. We are here as a family, not in terms of a conference, but also because we recognize that someone's dream is dependent on someone's direction. Someone's success is related to someone's support, and someone's curiosity is linked to someone's care. This is what a family does. Thus, our meeting here is not just a meeting of hands, but also of hearts. It is not just a meeting of ideas, but also of aspirations. As a host to this family gathering, as a curator of hundreds of dreams floating here, I welcome you all once again. Welcome to India. Welcome to the land of opportunities. Welcome to my home city, Mumbai. Welcome to this wonderful second edition of the Paper Recycling Conference in India, held at this grand venue in this 24/7 maximum city, where in a good 2 days of enthralling, exciting and entertaining networking opportunities are with all of you. Feel at home, ask questions as Indians do. And most importantly, please enjoy the mind-blowing lunch prepared by the master chefs of India. Also, enjoy the cocktails. Jim, I hope they are sponsored. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that kind and wonderful welcome. To start the day, we have an executive roundtable designed to help to provide some insights. With that in mind, a couple of thoughts as we get going. The structure, we're going to have each of our panelists make a short presentation, and then we're going to open the floor up to question and answer period. And we really do encourage people in the floor, amongst the crowd, to ask questions. The more interactive the sessions can be, not just this morning, but throughout the day and tomorrow, the better it will be for everyone in the crowd. So please, if you have a question, participate. The other quick note is to ask everyone, if you would, to please silence your cell phones out of respect to our speakers. If you must take a call, we do ask that you go out into the foyer area to take your calls. We know business keeps moving, it's very important, but out of respect to all of our speakers, we do ask that you silence your phones. So Mr. Vora is going to be our first presenter this morning, and it's important to sort of have an appreciation for the fact that he brings the background of an Indian entrepreneur and businessman to the podium. He's third generation family company. He's been handling the importation of recovered fiber since 1975. His family business has a long history of imports and exports from India to India. He has continued to grow his business dramatically, and it's caused him to expand into 5 countries around the world. He has partnership offices in the UK, USA, Germany, Dubai, and at the moment is expanding into Singapore, South Africa, Mauritius, I can never say that country right, it's horrible, Pakistan, Bangladesh. He's continued to grow the business with the introduction of his son into the business. Rishi joined in 2009, and that brings it to a 4th generation company. He's constantly looking for new possibilities and new ventures. It's made the business successful in its endeavors through today. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vora back to this podium for his first presentation.
Thank you, Jim, once again. Good morning, friends. while welcoming you to India in my opening address, I did mention that India is a land of opportunities. My name is Devang Vora. I run Paperworks. Sorry. I run Paperworks, a JV between Recycling UK Limited and Victory Creations, a 103-year-old Bombay-based paper trading company. I have worked in the paper industry for close to 40 years. My specialty is trading in waste paper internationally. Friends, we live in an increasingly complex world today, where protectionism is the call of the hour, where a boundary wall between two countries is being talked about, where free trade agreements are being thrashed, where countries in Europe are looking beyond the Eurozone. From Brexit and rising polarization in Europe and Donald Trump, this last year has played host to a series of political ruptures that threaten a breakdown in the international existing order, compounding fears of deglobalization. Analysts fear that more capital trapped within national borders will create a shortage of dollars that will challenge the growth of cross-border financial transactions. This last year has been, like Coldplay said, closing walls and clicking clocks. Friends, are we, the world, on the cusp of reversing the opening up of the economy's trends? Have we opened borders only to close them again? Shipping lines are folding up. Hanjin has folded up. Hamburg's food has been or being taken over by Maersk Line. Some 4 lines are in talks of merger. Look around you. In USA, Mexico, Europe and India, winds of change are blowing in the air. I have recently been blessed with a granddaughter, and this has completely transformed my life and changed my perspective. While my business is more than 100 years old, it is now that I'm wondering what kind of legacy I'm leaving for my granddaughter. Overnight, making a whole lot of money is not of paramount importance. I want to be able to sleep at night knowing that I've done my bit to give her a better future. You may be wondering why me, a paper merchant, is spending this time talking about my family instead of promoting my business. Why am I not talking through some mildly impressive, sterile statistics about the size of our business and the prospects that lay ahead of us? Why am I not taking you through some macro trade trends and what impact it could have on our business? Believe you me, you're going to hear plenty of these statistics in our trade later in this day. And the truth is, we are in a volatile business and we are governed by forces outside our control. I have a greater appreciation of the value of doing business with people of high integrity, or instead of being enamored of wanting to make a quick buck. Take a look around you. Neil and Simon from the RUK group, you from Siparo, Jaideep, Ritik, Hitesh Bhai, Saifi Bhai, to name a few of the outstanding people with high integrity in our trade that I personally worked with. I get my inspiration from the teamwork. For Beatles, you know the famous group Beatles. Beatles once said, Beatles were breaking apart because of their negative tendencies. And one of them said, each one kept the other's negative tendencies in check, and so the total was greater than the sum of all parts. And most importantly, the fleeting aspect of life has left me wanting to make a greater difference in this world. I believe that there are many challenges facing us in the paper industry. The biggest concern is about the global economy. Last week, we have seen a series of price disruptions all over the world. When China buys, and now Vietnam and Indonesia, waste paper, the market goes haywire. which has a very serious effect on our imported waste paper prices. Imported waste paper has become a volatile roller coaster market, behaving like a spoiled child. Just last night I was informed that the February shipping freight rates are going up once again. And to top it all, the government of India has put a 4.5% service tax surcharge on the freight rates levied for shipments from abroad. However, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi said in one of his glorious speeches, we in India believe that problems present us with opportunities to become stronger, disciplined and innovative. It's a matter of great pride today. There is tremendous interest in India. Countries are coming forward to work with us. This has of course generated expectations from us. India's present as well as its rich past is now being recognized. However, India has to be seen from a different angle. It is not just a country of today. It's an old civilization. It's just not a country of a few cities. It is a country of thousands of towns and several 100,000 villages. It is a country of diverse communities. Therefore, India has its own solutions for many pressing problems. One of them is our philosophy is the philosophy of conservation. Our culture teaches us nurturing of nature. Our way of life is not about survival of the fittest, but fitting the unfit to survive. Friends, today India is a land of opportunities. We have to build fast-track highways and railways. We have to energize homes and factories. We have to build infrastructure for cities where almost half of our population lives. This is where paper walks in. At every stage of our lives, people need paper, especially in fast-growing economies. When there are people, there will be paper. And when there is paper, there is waste paper. India, as a matter of fact, is the fastest growing paper consuming economy in the whole world and growing at 7%. Thus, there are immense possibilities for global investors in India. They are truly unlimited. And we want to do things in a cleaner and greener way. We are open to ideas, investments, innovations. Recent initiatives taken by the government of India, like Make in India, are indirect indicators of the domestic consumption of paper going up and up. And I believe that we as recyclers, in any form, be it MUFs, mills, traders, brokers, are playing a very important part in trying to leave a cleaner world behind us. India has a strong internal growth story. India's waste paper story is intact and growing year on year. India will need only more and more of imported waste paper. India's current paper production is 14 to 15 million tons. By 2020, around 20 million tons. By 2030, it should be around 26, 27 million tons. Again, India is the fastest growing paper market globally, growing at 7%. And naturally, waste paper, therefore, will always be in demand. To the extent that a recent economic history is any guide, India can sustain a growth rate of between 6.5 to 7%. I want to inform you of a few fascinating facts about India. India is the largest English-speaking nation in the world. Indian women own more than 11% of the world's gold. That is more gold than US, IMF, Switzerland and Germany put together. India will be the most populous nation by 2050. With 1.6 billion, it will be almost equal to the US and China's population combined. More than 50% of India is younger than 25, and more than 65% are 35 years or younger. The average Indian age is much younger than most other nations. India has the 3 Ds, like Narendra Modi said at Madison Square Garden: democracy, demand and demographics. So my friends, brothers and sisters, come, let us join hands and my company in making the world a better, safer, cleaner world to live in. Come partner with us. Paperworks, a JV between RUK and us, and experience is magic with this 103-year-old business background company, which has tons of experience in this waste paper field and moving thousands and thousands of tons of material worldwide all around the year to ship good, clean waste paper to India and elsewhere. At the end, I urge you to see and realize for yourself that India is changing fast. India is growing fast. India is moving faster than expected. India is ready than ever before. Let us work together for progress, prosperity, peace, and good business, of course. To make partnerships with paper mills, to invest in long-term relationships, as this is our motto, as is our belief. Believe in India and believe in me. And let us make this a better place for our children and grandchildren. Jai Hind. Thank you.
The most important factors that you see really impacting the ongoing growth of India's paper industry. There was some discussion about different growth numbers and how fast the industry will grow. What do you gentlemen see as the largest factors that will impact the growth of the industry?
I believe that the packaging sector is going to grow tremendously. With the advent of Flipkart, Snapdeal, Amazon, and the younger generation having much higher income than what we used to have, and they are exposed to all these offers that Amazon and Flipkart and Snapdeal make. So the generation of the container board industry is going to see a huge progress. As Mr. Ali Kumar said, even the tissue industry is going to see big progress.
I know we had a question from the audience here.
My name is Chen. I work for a Chinese paper mill, and we have around 5 million capacity, mainly for packaging paper. It's my first time to come to India, and I feel India is very developed country. It's just like, let's say, China a few years ago. The question to the speaker, because I don't think all of the speakers mentioned about the domestic collection, the domestic paper collection, just like if we go back 5 years ago, and the domestic collection, the percentage is around 40%, 40. But now, I'm sure this figure is much better, much bigger now. So how about the India, about the current domestic collection, and how do you expect it after coming 3 or 4, 5 years? Thank you. That's my question.
George, hi. In India, 98% of the newsprint is collected. Indians have a tendency when they are being offered money for, say, in exchange for waste paper. Indian housewives are going to save and Indian guys are going to save. So 98% of the Indian newsprint is recycled. All newspapers at home are collected by the local guy, packed and collected, and then we are going to see more and more of the local collection going up. Percentage-wise, maybe Mr. Ajay Kumar can help or Mr. Bajaj can help, I wouldn't know. But I'm seeing that many people are now putting up baling plants for collection on the outskirts of very major cities all over India. As cities continue to expand and cities continue to grow, the waste paper collection is continuing to grow. And now people are showing more interest in that.
From Warren Associates, Mr. Kumar and Mr. Vora mentioned the tissue sector. And I think we would all agree that that business will come to India down the road because it's a good growth business. My question to the panel is, what do you think will be the fiber source for the tissue and paper towel industry in India? Will it be recycled fiber or will it be virgin fiber or something else?
Initially, this will be recycled fiber. Like we have one gentleman here who just started a craft tissue mill, crafted tissues. The tissue is seeing a massive interest as far as demand is concerned, and people are coming up with new facilities to start up tissue plants. But tissue, as tissue requires pulp. But where do we get? I mean, it's pretty expensive. And knowing India, it's going to take time to get 100% pulp. Of course, there are markets for that. But like if you see, India takes its own time, but India is getting there slowly.
One more question. I want to pick up on a theme that was mentioned earlier. When we look at the Indian paper industry, there's today several hundred companies involved in this sector, and many would consider it fragmented. Do you see any momentum towards increased consolidation, merger and acquisition activity?
Mr. Bajaj said that there's going to be consolidation. But I personally believe it's not a success, and it may or may not work out in the future. Indians have their own way of operating mills, and I personally don't see too much of consolidation in the near future.